Yo, what's up guys? So, the YAE MIKO teaser just dropped. I just had the pleasure of watching it. You guys should definitely go watch it as well if you haven't already. It's really amazing. They actually show so much backstory that we don't really get. Because like in game, she kind of teases everyone a little bit and she just likes being tricky, which is cool. But then at the end, it's like, and the little girl who always wanted shoulder rides is all grown up and it's like, that's kind of cute. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about her kit and some of the things you can look forward to farming for her, as well as what we know from MiHoYo officially right now. Of course, I will be trying to make the most detailed YAE MIKO guide of all time. And we might actually add like a beginner's guide as well for those people who may not be higher AR. I just expect a lot of YAE MIKO content when she drops. Until then though, let's talk about what we do know. So this just got posted on the HOYOLAB forums. Just so you guys know, content creators aren't officially allowed to talk about leaks in their videos. So even if you do know how much energy YAE takes, how much damage she does, etc., we're not going to be talking about that. We're just going to be talking about what you can expect from her kit and the artifacts that you're going to be potentially running with her. So anyways, we can look over here. Today we'll be introducing a new character, YAE MIKO. Lady Guji of the Narukami Shrine also serves as the editor-in-chief of YAE Publishing House. It's cool. It's like a different side to her that we don't really get to see that much in game, and I'm sure her story quest is gonna talk about that a little bit. Kind of scrolling down, these are some of the things you should know already. Like she has an electrovision, we already know that. You know, she's a catalyst. We don't really know her constellation, so this is cool. Divina Vulpes. I probably mispronounced that. I just know this sounds close to Vulpix, who is kind of like a baby of Fox. So I know there's some kind of language thing going on there. That's the only connection I'm able to make though. Grand Narukami Shrine affiliation, June 27th. All right, so everyone remember, mark in your calendars on June 27th, you're gonna be buying a cake for YAE MIKO. And yeah, the English VA and Japanese VA are both very, very good. Down here, it's gonna actually show her ascension materials and her talent level up stuff. So here you're actually gonna be farming for light books. Those are gonna be in the Inazuma talent domain. You're also gonna have handguards as well as sea Ganoderma. These can be found in the ocean in various locations of Inazuma. They are a little bit harder to collect, but you should be able to get enough by the time she releases, especially if you go to other people's worlds. Make sure to ask them if they're getting YAE MIKO first though. You don't want to be mean. And then here she's going to be taking the Enkanomiya boss as well, the two Vishaps that you have to fight that are Electro and Cryo. And so you're going to need a whole bunch of those. Based on previous ascensions, you're going to need about 46 of them. Now this question mark, this is 100% going to be boss materials from the new fight that was teased in 2.5 dev stream. It's going to be the new like Raiden boss fight thing. 100% that's going to be from the new boss. Otherwise, why would they leave it a mystery? So that's what you can expect for getting her talent up to a higher level, which means that you will be limited for the first couple weeks, no matter how much resin you have. But now we get on to the good stuff. So we can talk about her talents. This is her normal attack, and it's actually really pretty. I really like the animations here. Wow, yeah, I love the charged attacks here too. Look at this. That looks so cool. It honestly, it looks like when you use Sara's burst, it does this split where a bunch of Electro comes out and strikes down from the sky. This is a similar thing, but it's a charged attack as well. It looks really, really good. It's going to be a bummer if she's unplayable as main DPS because of bad scalings, but you know, knowing MiHoYo, that's probably going to be what ends up happening. But yeah, it looks really good. I'm curious to see what the range on her normal attacks is though, because if it is really low, that could be an issue. Going down further, this is going to be her elemental skill. So this is where she puts down the 3 Electro turrets that deal damage over time. Typically, these little windows that they show us, the preview of the character, aren't a good tell of how much damage they're going to be doing. I'm pretty sure these showcases are with completely random throwaway artifacts, so don't take this little window as an indication of how much damage she's going to be doing. However, you know, it could be accurate. Who knows? I just wouldn't take it as gospel. So it says periodically strikes one nearby opponent with lightning, dealing Electro damage. Now, when there are other Sesho Sakura nearby, those are the turrets, their levels will increase, boosting the damage dealt by these lightning strikes. Okay, so the more turrets you have in close proximity, the more damage they're going to do. So theoretically, the idea is that you're going to put them all close to each other, and that's going to be how you get out a lot of your damage. Skill has 3 charges. Yep, we already know that. And the highest level that you can reach is 3. If a new turret is created too close to an existing one, the existing one will be destroyed. So it does look like you have to like kind of space them out. Like if you don't space them out, you might just destroy your own turrets, which does seem like it could be a little clunky. I don't know. We'll have to see. Just wait until we get our hands on her in game. And then we have her elemental burst. Now this is what's actually interesting to me about her kit. This looks like it's going to be an absolute nuke burst. Now it could be that it just gives you like a bunch of party buffs and it's actually a support ability, but judging from the animations alone and what they said in the live stream, this seems like it's gonna slap pretty hard. So it would be interesting to see if she ends up being built as a burst DPS rather than an off-field turret character that's gonna be doing Electro damage off-field over time, kind of like Fischl, because look how many strikes that is too. When she uses a skill, essentially she's going to destroy all the turrets in the area, and those are going to do an extra hit of electro damage as well, in addition to the initial hit that's pretty big. So because of that, you could actually see her deal decent damage, but honestly, we just don't know what the scalings are like. Now, I'm on major hopium about this. I really would like to see YAE be a good damage dealer introduced in the Inazuma patches. I know that Inazuma characters have usually had one glaring issue with each one of them. I say usually, obviously there are exceptions, but usually these characters have one big glaring issue that makes them harder to play in one way, shape, or form, whereas a lot of the older characters can be played kind of as anything. But I guess my point is I'm very excited to see how she plays. In terms of what you can expect to build for her on artifacts, that is going to be a couple different options. I'm not going to make this a super crazy in-depth guide video released before she releases, because I honestly just don't really think there's a point. I'm going to be re-saying the same thing in my official video that I am here. You're going to either be using a combination of two pieces from any of these sets. You're going to be using Gladiator, Shimenawa, Thundering Fury, Emblem of Severed Fate. Those are going to be the two set pieces that you're going to be choosing from when you build her currently in the game, because there is no artifacts that teased for this patch. However, that could change in 2.6. We do know the Chasm is coming soon, so we could see two new artifact sets come out, and maybe they release one for YAE the way they released one late for Kokomi. We will just have to see. But for now, in the meantime, Thundering Fury, Gladiator, Shimenawa, and Emblem of Severed Fate are going to be your best two-piece sets, and you can just take the ones with the best stats from those and put them together. Now, if you're wondering what the main stats will be, I'm kind of a slut for damage, so I'm hoping that we get to use attack percent electro damage crit, but depending on the cost of her burst, we may see that we need some energy recharge or a battery. My guess is that if you have someone like Raiden to fill up YAE's burst, it won't be as big of an issue and you won't need to run energy recharge. However, if you do run her as like a solo electro unit, you might see that you need to run some energy recharge to make her usable, in which case 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate could be very good. I'm pretty sure they said something about her scaling on Elemental Mastery a little bit. We will have to wait and see exactly how much that is. My guess is that Elemental Mastery is still going to be not so good on her, and if you wanted to play an Electro Elemental Mastery Catalyst, just play Lisa and get like 28k overloads. But I don't know, major hopium, fingers crossed we see attack percent electro damage crit. Worst case scenario, we're going to see something like energy recharge attack percent crit, or energy recharge electro damage crit. My guess is that we're not going to see an attack percent goblet, because we have characters like Sarah and Bennett who boost attack, and Sarah has been seen to be a very good electro support specifically. So in that way, we could see Sarah used, and we probably won't need to compensate with attack on her, even if we build energy recharge. As for other sets you might see used on her, you might see 4-piece Tenacity of the Millilith. I don't know how good her damage is going to be. If it turns out that her damage is just not good enough to be worth running Thundering Fury or Gladiators or something, you might see Tenacity of the Millilith come out pretty dang high up on the totem pole, because she has turrets that are going to be activating consistently, that are going to be dealing damage and proccing the Tenacity set that gives you 20% attack bonus for your whole team. Another set you might run into is going to be the 4-piece Thunder Soother set. Now, this will probably only be used in Electro Charge teams, mostly because it requires the enemy to have Electro Aura on them already, so that means that you can't use reactions that remove Electro, otherwise you're not going to get the damage bonus. But the benefit of Thunder Soother is that the 4-piece is going to give you 35% more damage to anyone that has Electro on them. So in an Electro Charge team where you can have Hydro and Electro applied consistently, Thunder Soother might be a solid option to increase YAE's damage with her turret and her burst and her autos, just everything. Those are the sets you're going to see for her. As of right now, it doesn't look like there's any set in the game that is specifically catered towards her, and so I would discourage you from farming super hard on any of these sets that I mentioned, mostly because you'll probably be able to throw some scrap pieces together and still make her deal decent damage, at least until we know if we're getting another domain next patch. If it turns out that we are getting a new domain next patch, that will be very, very good, because you can assume that it's going to be for probably Ayato, since we know he's coming next patch, and for YAE MIKO. At least those are my best guesses. It's also possible we see one for an older character as well. So who knows on that front? I just don't think it's worth investing a ton of time into farming Thundering Fury right now, especially because Thunder Soother is very, very specific, and the worst case scenario is you get Thunder Soother instead of Thundering Fury when you're farming for it, or vice versa. Generally speaking, 2 Shimenawa, 2 Gladiator will be good enough. Right now for weapons, we just don't really know. We can assume that Widsith is going to be pretty solid, because Widsith just works on everyone. It has 2 out of the 3 buffs will always be good. It's either going to give you damage bonus or it's going to give you attack percent, and they're huge buffs, and it has a crit damage main stat. So that weapon is just always going to be good. And if it turns out that she does get some scaling on Elemental Mastery, then Widsith might just be the go-to. YAE's specific weapon is probably going to be good. Usually they make the character's specific weapons good for that character at the very least. And we'll have to see how Oathsworn is too. That's the new weapon that was teased in the live stream. The thing is, it looks like a Kokomi weapon, but it will likely be a weapon that works for YAE as well, since she'll be the new character of this patch. At least that's That's my guess. We'll have to see. I'm also wondering if Hakushin Ring is going to be a good weapon as well, just because I know it gives you bonuses based on creating reactions with electro characters. So it kind of makes me feel like that was maybe YAE's intended free-to-play weapon, but who knows? There's so many different weapons that you can end up using on different characters. Those are just my initial thoughts. All these things are subject to change, but that's what you can basically expect going forward with YAE if you're going to pull for her. I can't make any judgments right now on whether or not she's going to be worth pulling for. Only you can do that, but in the future, I can at least give her kind of a power rating compared to other characters that are more free to play, easier to access and stuff, just in case you guys are only pulling for clearing Spiral Abyss and meta purposes. But anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I will make sure to update you guys on all of the Genshin news coming over the next couple days. We're going to see a banner reveal soon. We're going to see some weapon banner reveals as well. It's going to be really great. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. Look forward to the Kokomi video I'm releasing pretty soon.